starts with my mother and father, Giovanni and Emily DeAndre. They were a very wonderful set of parents. And they taught me many things. My father was a very compassionate, loving, tolerant man. And he was that way his whole life. And my mother was German. She took such excellent care of everything, the cleanest house in town. Whatever job she had, she did well and did it perfectly, and was modest, never took any vows for anything. And the thing I learned from her was, you accept God's will, whatever happens in your life. And then there was my brother. And we have, and to this day, one of the most wonderful relationships a brother and sister can have. In fact, my girlfriends used to be envious of me. They say, you're so lucky, you have such a great brother. And there he is. I can tell you many stories about him and the wonderful times we had as kids. To this day, whenever it's possible, we speak to each other every week of our lives, except when somebody's traveling somewhere or something. That's how close we are. And I could tell you wonderful things about him. When my father died and he had to leave Manhattan College, I had to quit school, we went to work. He went to college at night for years, through the summers, with no air conditioning in those classrooms. And he got his degree and became a vice president of the company he worked for. He was terrific. And then came Bob. And he was a wonderful man, a black and white kind of guy, you know. One of the people that worked for him said to me, you know, at some party we read, he said, you know, he's a tough boss because you've got to do the job right, but you know what? He was always fair. And I always think that was a tribute to him. His company loved him so much that when he died, his boss came to the house and gave me a check for $2,000. And you know what I did with it? I took my kids to Italy and started a whole new, I wanted them to be a family, to stay together, and so forth. They even put up a plaque in his office, in their office for him, because he was a perfectionist, everything. Look at the tables he made and you'll see what a wonderful man how talented he was. He was very talented, David was very talented, and Bobby is better than the both of them. He is so talented, that's the way I feel. Anyway, then we had 3 wonderful children. And I always gave a name to each of my children for various reasons that mean a lot to me. Andrea, I always called my joy. She was very special, never gave me an ounce of trouble. She was more than a daughter. She was my friend, and I really mean that. And Valerie, she was my treasure, because Valerie had a sparkle, something special, always came through in everything she did, very talented. And then came Bobby, who I called my honey, because he has a sweetness that nobody else has. And everybody who knows him knows how sweet he is. And just to give you an example of that, one day we're in the A&P, and he was, I don't know how old he was. All of a sudden he comes to me and he hands me this cup. I still have it in my kitchen cabinet. It says, I love my mom. And I still have it because that's the way, and nobody told him to do it. He just saw it and he wanted to do it. So that sums that up. Then we have Rob, and we have Steve, and we have Beth. And I embrace you with all my heart as part of my family. You've all added another dimension to it. And then I have these wonderful grandchildren. Madeline, Michael, and Hank. Wonderful, wonderful grandchildren. I can't even tell you the joy that they've given me and how they've enriched my life.
Where's Hank?
And how when they were little, I got such a rush just to see them. I still do. I just love them so much. So that's, who did I leave out? I want to tell you, these 24 years, they're almost 24, have been very special, the happiest time of my life.
For both of us.
And George has been caring like nobody else through all my crazy operations and everything else. And always with a sense of humor, which has been priceless, because he is a very sweet, caring man, and I feel very blessed. So to sum it all up, what have I learned in my 85 years?
Wow, you admit it.
First step.
That's the first time.
The first thing is, in your life, be positive. Have a positive approach to life. Because if you're positive, your life is better, your friends are better, everything that happens to you is better because you're positive. And you make better decisions when you're positive. That's one. I thought about this a lot, you can tell. Another thing is, I learned it from a wonderful nun I had in high school. Cast thy bread upon the waters, and it'll come back buttered. And believe me, if you can deal with people and family or whatever it is, if you do a good thing, it comes back to you tenfold. So that's another thing. And then I was thinking of Lou Gehrig, and he said he was the luckiest man on the face of the earth. Well, I think that I'm the luckiest woman to have such a wonderful family. And then I think if God isn't in your life, I think you must bring him back. Because in the end, that is the most important thing. And Padre Pio summed it all up when he said, pray, hope, and don't worry. That is it. If you can accept life, my mother taught me to accept whatever comes in your life and to deal with it, work through it, and you'll get there. And with God's help, you will. Anyway, I also want to urge you as a family to stay together, get together, enjoy each other. And then, when you get together, raise the glass and say, "A la familia." And remember that I used to say that when I'm gone. Goodbye.
Excellent.
Thanks, Mama.
Very good, man.
So I go with them. So I'm so excited. I don't know, I'm running into the ball players, they're writing, they're giving me the autograph. And I come home, we're sitting at the dinner table. And I'm telling you how excited I am. I got so-and-so's autograph. My father, you know, very Italian, very European. Your daughters don't run after baseball players. You don't do this. This is not my daughter. I was given a lecture like you wouldn't believe it. From that day forward, I never went near Yankee Stadium.
How old are you then?
So Tony,
I don't
you
know.
did not get all those autographs. She got some of them.
Not those on
The
the
ball.
ball. The ball.
The ball.
These were just little things.
She had the ball.
He has the ball, yes.
Oh,
You know all about the ball.
Do you have it with
See, he got it too. Was he allowed his helmet? He should have known better.
Oh, yeah, he got it.
Put this on Facebook, right?
Oh, I'm gonna put it up on America's Funniest Home Videos,
He's
I
gonna
think.
document how bad this is.
I don't know if I'm gonna put this on postscript.
Did you?
Valerie,
Anyway, I have a
George has a
postscript.
postscript to mom's speech.
Uh,
I missed that. I'm
On
sorry.
our
You haven't
honeymoon.
missed it.
We
Oh,
held it.
He said, we all know who she's one.
Were you a good boy or were you a bad boy,
Get
George?
into that stuff.
George,
On our
were you a good
honeymoon,
boy or a bad boy on your honeymoon?
Oh,
We
George
met-
Brown.
We met, actually, this is from me. We met another couple who were in the same situation we were. They were remarried, they had been remarried a couple of years apparently. And they said, one of the best things you can do is keep your two families together. And my postscript really is, I want to thank you all for including Cynthia into this family.
Absolutely.
And that I appreciate it, and I know how much Cynthia appreciates being accepted, because she really has no family now, except us here. So, thank you very much.
Our place.
Where is Cynthia tonight?
Moving.
She's moving.
Yeah.
But the-